Hello. Sorry for the break in transmission. I'm going to bring my guest back.
Hmm?
Oladimeji,
Ma,
forgive
Oga,
me. Oh.
uh, it is well, Lucia Network.
Interview Adise Oti goes.
Yes, so
Okay, so I already did my welcome, and I had to quickly use that one to go and tell people that we are live. So
okay.
it's snapped off, but we're here. All
Yeah.
right, so I want to congratulate you majorly, like majorly, for 10 years. Like I was saying before the break in transmission, the way they say on radio and TV.
Yeah.
It's not easy to find people who stay with any organization for that long. This has nothing to do with whether you are millennial or Gen Z. I think it's just something about the way the entire architecture of the economy has become. Everyone is always looking for bigger, something extra. You know, that's in addition to people who might have dreams and visions they want to pursue. So there are very many credible reasons why a lot of people would want to move. So my first question, like I sent you, is what kept you on for 10 years? We need to
Uh,
hear it.
okay.
How did you manage?
Thank you very much. Thank you for this opportunity to
Yes, sir.
share my story. And the first question, I think it's so interesting that the first day I joined Pertinence, it was still Pertinence Limited then. It was
Okay.
still Pertinence Limited then. The first day I joined, it was a determination in my mind because it was basically why I joined was basically to make an impact in the company.
Hmm.
Yeah, the company
Hmm.
was not this big then. They're just 2
I
years.
can I can share the sentiment because those of us that are running not very big companies yet.
Mm.
Our eyes are seeing shege. Hey, I
Yeah,
tell you. Only God
yeah,
no let am reach shege pro max. We thank God.
seriously. So just 2 years, and I was just determined. I said, I even told I think I told my wife then, because I was married then also. I told my wife, I said, I would stay in Pertinence for 10 years. That is
Hmm.
my drive to stay for 10 years, to contribute my quotas and do everything possible to ensure that I have like a footprint in
Hmm.
Pertinence. So it was a
Wow.
determination for me. So no matter what happened, there are different times that a lot of things had happened, and some people still told me, they were like, how did you survive this? How did you cope? It was a determination because I know a lot of things will come, a lot of things will happen, but my determination was 10 years I would stay and contribute my quota. So it was actually a drive.
What did your wife, how did she take it? That you want to stay somewhere for 10 years?
Well, at first, even till maybe some years back, some few years back, she was not too comfortable with me still there because she was feeling, this guy, you have the potential, you have the, like you said, nobody
Mhm.
then most people don't stay this long in places, and she was
Yes.
like, in fact, it got to a point she was actually getting offers for me. She would just come on and say, Oga,
Smart,
oh yeah,
smart, sissy.
Oga, oh yeah, I've gotten this one for you. You must apply. I'll just tell her, don't worry, I will apply. Send it to me. I will not apply. And one day she was just like, all the things I've been sending to you, you did not apply, blah, 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 blah. And I told her, I said, I told you the first day that I have 10 years. And
Mm.
it's a journey. It's a journey.
Mm. Mm.
I'm not there yet. Just I had to beg. I said, don't worry, just hold on for me. I have few more years. Let me run in that few more years, and would come back to the dream that I have. So at that point, she later on said, okay, well, you know now, okay, no problem, no problem. Because there was no way she could force me out of the place. If she was able to force me, if she was able to force me out of the place, she would have forced me. But she agreed with me, and she has been supportive. So our support also helped me, basically.
I'm clapping for her in case she's watching. So, thank you, Mr. Dimeji. That was a good one for the first short question.
Yeah.
And you said it's a journey. I'm not there yet. I was determined. For this show, Mind Your Character, we are actually looking at those qualities that kept you. So I'm right up, I'm picking determination, and I'm picking purpose. So for those who are watching and following, if you're an employee or an employer, the factor of being a person who is determined and purposeful, don't throw it away to win in this year. Okay, so I'm going to a hotter question, and I know you are ready for it. So you mentioned something by it when you were answering that. So I'm asking that, were there times when you almost lost your job in spite of your determination? Or like lost, like you almost got sacked? Or were there times when even you feel that, these 10 years, apart from Madam saying you have potentials, there are other things you could do, which is very good. But were there moments that you knew that, were there times you almost got sacked? I mean, to put it straight. Or were there times when you felt like you were losing steam, even personally? Like, should I throw in the towel?
Okay.
Tell us.
Thank you very much. So I think I was at different times. I was at those different times and those different moments. Yeah. The first one was I can't remember that year. I think it was 3-4 years ago. I had a challenge, and it was a sack. Basically, it was looking like a sack. Like guy, somebody just came and was like, "We want to do a restructuring in the company," and it was like, you don't have the certification to be in that position. And though he mentioned it that you are good, you are blah blah blah, you know what you are doing, but you are not just for that position. So we want to relieve you of that position. Funny enough, when all of those things were happening, it was like where do I start from? Do I want to leave? Do I stay? Because I was given another role. I was given another role to play, and it was actually sales. It
was sales.
Yes, it was sales.
Did you consider that role a demotion from where you were?
I think for me, maybe hierarchically, maybe if there's a word like that, maybe for me it was a demotion. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, it was a demotion. But I just took it with good faith, and I was like, no problem. All it was just, let's make sure the company keeps running. In fact, it got to a point where I had written my resignation letter.
Wow!
At that point, yes, I had written it. And
how many times did you write it, please? Only once?
Only once. Only once.
Okay.
Only once. So I had written it, but I was not moved to tender it. So the only thing I did was, I was just determined to say, okay, whatever happens, even if it is this demotion, because my determination was to contribute whatever I have to contribute, I would still play my part at this point. And I was playing my part. And lo and behold, I don't know, it just came and blah, 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 blah. And I just found myself back in that position. I just found myself back. And I found out that I think one of the reasons I had to come back to that position was, I think it got to a point where some of those people that were supposed to take up the responsibility were not doing enough.
Hmm.
So
Hmm.
now I now added the
Not
sales
being in,
part.
no, sorry, sir. Is it in terms of qualification or experience?
Experience, experience,
Mm, mm,
experience, experience.
mm.
Yeah. So now, what I now did was, when I came back to that position, because a lot of, in fact, a lot of my team members were like, no, we will not do anything again. If they did not bring you back to that position, you will not. I was like, no, no, don't
They
worry.
play.
They play. I said, don't worry, we move, we move. So funny enough, when I came back to that position, I came back with added. I was still doing sales again, coupled with
Wow.
that responsibility of being the CFO. And up till this time, I still do sales, coupled with that responsibility.
Yeah,
So it
so
was
I will still
interesting
cash
one.
out the commission. Have that one, Mr. Dimeji. Oh my God. The gentleman I've been speaking with is Mr. Oladimeji, okay? I decided that beginning this year, I wanted to share stories of achievers who are everyday people. What do I mean by everyday people? The people you want to call ordinary people. The people you want to call common Nigerians. I call them everyday people. That is, they could be your neighbor, they could be your brother, they could be your friend. But they are doing things in their own corner and making some phenomenal impact. That's why I have Mr. Dimeji here. Once I saw in his employer's, now for my employer, okay, I saw it on Facebook and they said the man that received bullets for his employer. I'm like, hey, I don't have the details, but I know a little that this guy, they received bullet. Mr. Dimeji okay, just left Pertinence and is doing, he'll tell us something about what he's doing or what he's going into later on when he has sufficiently taught us about what kept him for 10 years. We have not had enough yet. In fact, we are just, so I'm so, you can see that I'm so excited to have you here. I'm excited because a lot of people do not understand the staying power anymore. There are things that people want to do that might need a little more. So tell us about learning and growing. Were you this experience? Because you mentioned experience.
Yeah.
Were you this experience in 20 what now? 2012, 2013?
Yeah, 2013.
2013 when you joined. Were you this experience? Or did Pertinence give you platform? Tell us about Pertinence giving you platform to grow.
Okay, thank you very much. Yeah, so when I came into Pertinence, though I came from a bigger firm, to Pertinence, so I had a little experience compared to what I have now, basically. But one of the things that made me or kept me going in Pertinence was the fact that there was the opportunity of you learning on the job. Yeah, I was not this experienced. I made so many mistakes on the job. Yeah, that part a lot of people don't know. I made so many mistakes. In fact, I made so many costly mistakes on the job.
Wow.
Yeah.
So it's kudos to the bosses for not saying be going for this mistake.
Yes. Yes. So,
That's
but
very
the thing,
magnanimous.
but the truth about it was, whatever mistake I made, I never repeated it. Never repeated it.
Wow. So
And
I
I
can pick
never.
the fact that you're a fast learner. You don't try to fall in the same place twice.
Yes. And I had to communicate that to my team members also. So whatever I have done wrong, you should not do it. So now, Business gave me so many platforms, so many. One of the platforms that Pertinence gave me was the fact that the two co-founders got to a point where if there is anything in the organization that needs their attention, all they do is, hello Dimeji, go and do this. I'm telling you. Or they'll just say, they'll just send message to the person that needs anything. They'll say, see Dimeji. You got to a point where there was I think there was a transaction or something. I can't remember very well now, but I think there was a transaction that involved a very influential person. And normally, they are the ones that are supposed to attend to the person. And they were like, Dimeji, go and attend to this person. I was like, hey, what do I want to say?
They were helping you to build muscles.
Yes. What do I want to say? But lo and behold, when I attended to the person was like, wow, you reasoned like your directors. And I was like,
Wow.
So it means, yes.
Apologies to those that don't speak Yoruba today.
So it got to a point where, in fact, both of them can be out of the country. They can even be in the office and not attend to anything. The capacity is there. The experience is there. I know what to do at some point in some cases, such that even in the team, what does not even concern my department, they bring it to me and we resolve it immediately, because I've learned through the years. In fact, let me say this before I end. In fact, it got to a point where the co-founders, they said something and I was like, is that it? They were like, Dimeji, I think something happened in the office, and they were like, if Dimeji cannot resolve this without us, then leave it unresolved.
Wow.
So I took up a lot of responsibility, a lot of responsibilities I took away from their shoulders. And that made me so much experience. So I can tell you,
that's what it is. That's just what it is. Mr. Dimeji, you are giving us what we cannot learn in any master class close by. Because you see, you're not just speaking book knowledge. You are telling us the part you worked every day for 10 years. Yeah. Baba, no be small thing. You know what 365 days or 6 days times 10. And learning and rising. Yeah. I'm sure you didn't come from a very high position when you first joined. And you eventually exited as Chief Financial Officer. Wow, that's massive. The chief gone. The chief part of it. Okay, so I picked a few lessons from what you said, and just to let you know that I'm also learning by listening to you. I picked the fact that you earned trust. That's not cheap.
Yeah.
That's not cheap. You see, this industry called real estate, the biggest capital in real estate, the most expensive currency in real estate is trust capital. Yes. So you earned it by carrying responsibilities on your shoulders, some that didn't even concern your department, like you said. So let's just speak to people who are employees. They say, come and do something. Say, is it part of my work? You are short-cutting the capacity and opportunity you have to learn. So right now, Mr. Admin is diversified. Do you feel scared? A short question here. Do you feel scared exiting to start something by yourself? Do you feel like, will it work? Will it not work?
Yeah, so there's always the fear when you are living maybe something
comfort zone.
Yeah, that's the word. You are living a comfort zone to go and start something new. There's always that fear. But truly, one of the things that is also making me not afraid, that's the fear is there truly, to be candid. But one of the things that is mitigating that fear is because I knew what Pertinence started. I was there. So I have that in my subconscious. So I'm 100% sure this will also work.
Yes, that's why I played you that song when we started. John Omiola. He go laugh. He go laugh. I'm too sure about that. See, there's something about people who are hands-on. There's something about people who have learned, who have grown through the ranks. See, that fear you have, I can relate to that part of the fear. But it is not the fear of incompetence. And it is not the fear of lack of experience. Definitely not. It is just the fear of the unknown. Yes. You know, that fear of, and then the prayer that let the thing I've learned work for me. And because you have served, there's also that part of when you have served with all your heart, when you have given your all. I kept hearing you mention I just want to put my best in. I just want to put my little to grow the company. That is massive, massive, massive. And kudos to your bosses, your employers, because they made it possible for you to experience what you had in mind. I'm sure from the now, people say that Mr. Dimeji is calm, is cool, is collected, is this. This is my. So, how would you describe yourself? What are the unique qualities? What are the top 3 unique qualities that you have, that if you don't have this thing, you can't be Dimeji? What are those things that are like, this one is unique to me? If you want to be able to do what I did, because they say you used to receive bullets for your gun. Please tell us about your bulletproofs. Tell us, bulletproof 1, 2, 3. How do you resolve cases where Omonile will come? Maybe they are coming angrily, or cases where, like you said, someone wants to see the bosses and say, today, I must speak to your boss. And they say, Dimeji, go and face the fire.
Yeah.
And maybe they are not even on ground. They are traveled, like you said. What are those qualities that you know that, look, these are a few things I know about myself that helped me? Do you think everybody can do what you are doing? And do you fear for the person that is stepping into your role?
Okay, let me start by saying, okay, the 3 top qualities that I can say I have, that I feel helped me this far, is number 1, the people management skill. I think I have that. So, I think so. Hello, can you hear me?
Yes, I can hear you. Go on, sir.
Okay, yeah. So, what do I mean by people management skill? Now, for me, I have something that drives me, and what drives me, especially in the midst of people, is how I can. The first thing I do when I'm in the gathering of people is study different people, because different people have their different traits.
Okay.
Yeah, different people have their different traits. Study them, and if they, at the first point of contact between me and anybody, the first thing I want to do is I want to understand you, and in understanding you, I would now know what to say to you to calm you down. This is one quality that I know helped me a lot. A lot of customers will come at some point, a lot of will come, and people will just say, they will just run to my office and say, Mr. Dimeji, this person is around though, kill a fish, don't worry, let the person come. Now, while the person is coming, or when the person comes, I'll just, maybe we can just have chats. The person can come to my office and be like, shout, beat the table. I'll just come, don't worry, calm down, don't worry, I will resolve your. You understand? Now, after the talks, the person will smile out of my office. There have been
people management skill.
There have been nobody
10 over 10.
Nobody in the last 10 years.
Wow.
People can go and verify from the company. There is nobody in the past 10 years.
That go and verify.
Yes, go and
verify. That go and verify that you are saying. Now I go, let's not go there.
So there has been nobody in the past 10 years that entered my office angrily, that left angrily. Nobody.
Wow.
Nobody.
Massive.
Some of the employees, after discussion with such people, they'll be like, Mr. Dimeji,
what did you tell the person?
I'll be like, and funny enough, it's some of the things I would have said. Really something
God,
that beauty is
saying I can testify.
I'm telling you, seriously, it will be something that they have told them before, but I will just say it in a different way. There was even one that came to my office, one of those, and I think it was even last year, and it was like, he will go and lock me up. He will arrest me and lock me up. I was just laughing. And funny enough, he said, don't worry, you see me tomorrow. I'll bring police, I'll bring soldier, I'll bring. Tomorrow came, I did not see the guy. You. I did not see the guy.
Wow,
And so
wow,
that
wow,
alone,
wow,
I say,
wow.
and that's my number one. That's my number one, basically.
Mm,
That's my number one.
mm,
Yeah.
mm.
Even among staff members, I know how to talk to different staff members to help them even do what they don't want to do before, or help them see reasons why they should do something.
They should
So I have
do.
that.
Wow,
It's a big skill I know
wow.
I have. Now, number
Um, so Mr. Dimeji just told us one of his, I don't know, are there others you'd like to share? Qualities that stand you out.
okay, I think yeah. So I think the
There was a bit
second
of
one
break there.
is
You can go.
capacity building.
Mm,
Capacity building. For me,
mm,
for one, I have built capacity in virtually all areas of life that
mm.
concerns me. Yeah,
In these 10 years.
yes, I have basically. Now, there's a different way you relate to customer. There's a different way you relate to omonile. There's a different way you relate to staff.
Mm,
And it is only the capacity that you have built that helps you know when to switch.
mm-hmm.
Yeah. Now, for you to have more responsibility, for you to do more, it means you have built enough capacity. What
Mm,
what I did in the past 2 years, that's been made in my last 2 years. What I did in my
mm-hmm.
last 2 years, I can say was like 8 years work put together. Yeah.
So the first 8 years were like shere.
Shere, yes. So
Shere
that
Gambia.
capacity is there. The capacity is there such that if you have me in your team, you can go to sleep, sir.
Wow, wow,
Yeah,
wow,
you
wow.
can go to
See, this
sleep.
is not boasting, no. This is
It is
knowing
not.
yourself and knowing what you have
It is
done. This is
not.
not boasting because some people could mistake it. I tell people if you know yourself, you should be able to say what value you bring to the table.
Yeah.
Wow, amazing. If you have me on your team, you can go to
Yes.
sleep. Every
Yes.
employer is looking for people like that.
You.
Anyway, but
Yeah.
you grew through the ranks.
Yes.
It's possible that another person uses 10 years and they don't have this kind of story.
Yeah.
So it's about the interest to learn.
Mm.
I picked a very valued lesson when you said, I don't allow myself make the same mistake twice. And it shows plenty of responsibility. And then it shows that you respect the organization. You are not taking the organization for granted. That, oh, if they let me go for doing this, I will make sure that I don't do it again.
Mm.
Absolutely. Thank you for growing, Mr.
Thank you,
Dimeji.
man.
Thank you so much.
Thank you.
Yes, what are the major lessons you have learned? Just give us three.
Mm.
And that you think that employees should learn from. Because very soon you are going to the other side of being to be an employer. So
Yeah.
what are the top three lessons? Like these three lessons I am taking away from my 10 years. I know there might be more than three. So top three.
Okay, number one, this is a lesson, but I think I would say I fell short of it at some point, so I had to make
Okay.
it a lesson. That's
Mm,
yes,
mm,
I have to make
mm,
it a lesson.
mm.
Now, for pertinence, there is work-life balance.
Just a moment. I need to turn off my AC, but go
Okay,
on. I'm changing
so
power supply.
okay, no problem. So work-life balance. Now, got to a point. It got to a point that I had I began to have issues with my children and wife. because I was
Yes, because of work, long hours of work.
I was working, as in I was working like as in, I would leave the house in the morning. Sometimes I might not even call my wife throughout the day. I will not call her
Wow.
throughout the day. I'll be
Esheni,
working. I'll get back.
Esheni.
Shagidi. I'll get back late in the night. So at some point I was not like, no, I should not continue this way. I should not continue. I should not be the best person outside and be the worst person at home.
Word.
Yeah. So
Word.
I had to take it easy. I had to make sure I found a way to balance the two, and God helped me through.
How did you come to that realization, Mr. Dimeji? Did you
Yeah.
realize it by yourself, or Madam had to give you some punches that, guy, wake up?
Well, I think Madam had to, because every night when I come home, she will be like, you don't even have time for us, you don't even blah blah blah, and I'll be justifying nonsense. I'll tell her, don't you know it's work? Is it not the work that we used to pay school fees? Is it not the work I used to? And there was one thing she said that day, and truth be told, there was a 360 in my brain.
Reset.
Reset. She just said, well, hold the job and forget about us. And I was like,
wow.
Hold the
I
job.
beg.
I beg. So I was like, no. And funny enough, my co-founders, the two of them, they have A1 in this work-life balance. So I just thought to myself, I was like, what's wrong with you? Your co-founders have this life balance. Why are you not following their footsteps? So I had to bring it in and ensure I did that. So it's a lesson I learned. So before
all the bachelors and all the newly married, all of una, one are the year word.
So before
yeah, because it's so easy to slip into that mode without knowing. It happens to both men and women.
Yes.
It's not only men.
Yes.
And most achievers have this problem.
Yeah.
And they will be justifying nonsense, like you said.
Yes.
Wow. That's a major number one. Major for every high flyer.
Major. So before I left, I had to be every day when I get to the office, I'll call my wife. I'm in the office, so after some time, if I remember I've not called her before 12, because I must call her before 12, I'll call her again. I am here. Have you eaten? Have I eaten? Blah blah blah. I'll call her again. And seriously, it even made the work smoother. It made the work easier for me because I had their back every time. So the second thing, the second lesson I learned from Pertinence, basically, is the fact that you can start a career from small to big. You can actually grow, and it's not only Pertinence.
Organic growth, not growth that is padded.
No, not growth that is padded, organic growth. Yeah. It was in Pertinence. Because when I joined Pertinence, there was an accountant. Funny enough, there was an accountant when I joined Pertinence.
Okay. So
when I joined, it just came up that what I knew was better than what that person knew. So the person just fizzled out.
Wow.
Yeah. And from that time, I was growing. I became this, I became that, you understand, all of those growths. It was also in Pertinence I found out that, this even very, very true. A cleaner becoming an administrative staff. And not just a junior staff, a senior staff.
Wow.
So
so much growth prospect in that organization.
So much growth prospect. In fact, somebody was telling me that after CFO, you now become financial director.
Oh my God.
Seriously. And it's so interesting that growth was not because I was loved. It was not because I was doing eye service. It was because I was
mm,
working.
mm,
Pertinence is somewhere that when you work and your employer sees what you are bringing to the table, ah, you would come in faster. As in you just
mm,
climb the ladder faster. So you just
mm.
must have something you are bringing to the table. You just must have something
True,
you are bringing to the table. So for me,
true,
I learned
true.
that. So if you want to grow in life, you must have something you are bringing to the table. That's another lesson I learned from pertinence.
Absolutely,
Yes.
absolutely,
Mm.
absolutely.
Yes, ma'am.
Okay, would that be it? Okay,
Yes.
so I have two sensitive and technical
Hey.
questions. They are
Hey.
follow-ups from the things you have said
Okay.
before. Don't worry, don't be scared. Mr. Dimeji, people believe that nothing dey shake Mr. Dimeji. That no matter what, nothing shakes him. Where do you get that candor from? Is there any of your parents that has that trait? Did you did you get impartation for it? Is it from one of the directors just by watching them do stuff? How did you get it from? Because see, I can tell you that that is what has made a whole lot of difference in you handling that position. There's this, if they say everybody is shaking, Mr. Dimeji is all like, calm down, that kind of a thing. Where did you get that kind of from? Where did you get that from?
Okay.
Even
So I
when
think
people were saying that he doesn't have certificate, let us remove him. Where did you get that? What? How do you muster that kind of tenacity and just act like nothing dey happen, no shaking kind of a thing?
okay. Thank you very much. So I think for me, first of all, I would say I think it's divine. First of all, I would say it's divine. Yeah. And even me myself got to a point I was like, where did you get this Igboya from? This basically for me. And I think I also can say that I got it from the co-founders.
Hmm.
Yes. When we are starting out, and because when we are starting out, I saw how they dealt with issue.
Hmm.
If let heaven be falling, my
Hmm.
co-founders will not shake.
Hmm.
They will not shake, as in never. They will stand and say, okay, whatever is coming, let it come.
Hmm.
Let it come. Let's even see it first. When we see it, we will now know what to do. I got that from them. And it's something that it's not just something that you just get anyhow. I built
You build it.
myself up. Yes, you build it.
You build it.
For the fact that,
Hmm.
of course, every other person is seeing them that they are not always moved. But sometimes people be like, oh, Mr. Dimeji today, Mr. Dimeji, they've come again, what do I got? But I just built myself and I was like, no, I will not shake
Hmm.
for anything. Not because
Awesome.
not because I'm not shaking inside though. Truly I'm shaking inside though. But you will not see it in my on my
We caught
face.
that on camera, Mr. Dimeji. You were shaking inside. Okay.
You will not see it. Seriously, you will not see it. Because whatever would happen, one of the philosophy of my life is whatever happens, there's always a solution.
Hmm.
There's always a way out. There's
Awesome.
always a way out. So nothing will happen and will be stopped. Like it cannot. So that's what gave
Hmm.
me that candle. And I took time to build it and still building it also. Still building it.
Yes. Thank you so far. You have been in the Ile Owo for years back to back to back to back
Yes.
to back.
Yes,
Have
ma'am.
you ever gotten to that point where you feel that well, what I mean is not enough, Joe. After all, I have access to this money.
Mm.
Tell us about integrity. Tell us about honesty and handling the financial powerhouse of a real estate company. We all know that real estate companies are high density capital like they run identity capital transactions.
Yeah.
It's just the way the industry is. And then you sit atop it. Even before you became the Oga Kpakpata, you've always been there growing. How much temptation have you faced? Did you overcome or did you fall to financially?
Okay. So for me, I think Pertinence is one place that I think I like the financial architecture of Pertinence. Yeah, I like it. Not that, or not because it's a perfect architecture, but because it's an architecture that, at least to a certain extent, controls how funds go and come in. Yeah, it controls how fund goes and come in. Yes, truly, I see money. As in, you look at it and be like, this is. But I've never for one across do mago to take this money. No.
Why?
No. Why? Because for me, when I started my career, funny enough, I started my career early in life. I started working from the age of, I think, 19 years. Started working from the age of 19. So that time too, I was seeing money. So I think I've been in the money thing.
Money circle.
You understand? I've seen money. So, but one thing that kept me going, or one thing that helped me, was the fact that those times I had people that I look up to, and the first thing that comes to my mind is, if these people hear that I do this, how will they feel? I never want
As
to disappoint
accountability
anybody.
partners, you are conscious of your
Yes.
accountability partner
I
network.
never want to disappoint anybody. Never. And one thing about it is also I found out that those things, there's no amount of funds that you steal or that you embezzle takes you far. You can go far at some point, but you just went faster. You will come back.
Come back.
Yeah. So for me, one of my core value is integrity. As in integrity. And one thing that also helped me was, real estate business. People get commission. People come for land bargain. They come for this. They
Yes.
come for that. I've never for once asked anybody for money.
Wow.
Never. As in, nobody can come and say, this guy asked me for money before giving me contract, or this guy told me I was giving me a percentage. Never.
Wow. That's massive. That's
Never
massive.
done it. Now,
Very outstanding.
do they come back to appreciate me at some point? Yes.
Definitely.
Yes.
Definitely.
But I've never asked. I've never asked anybody. So I guide myself by those things. Because when I start
That's massive.
asking people, it will lead me to start changing figures. It will lead me to helping people. Just help us put something. Just help us just tell them, no. So I'm so truthful to a fault, such that even if I lie, you will know.
That's so amazing. That's so amazing. Mr. Dimeji, thank you for sharing. I know that you have another meeting to join.
Yes, ma'am.
At 6. Just leave a parting shot. Advice to employees that are just beginning to build their career. What will be your parting shots for them? That guys, this is all what I have. Silver or gold, I have none, like Peter said.
Yes,
but this one that I know, I give to you. It could be one of the things you've mentioned before. You want to reiterate and say, you want to build a great career and do well, take care of these things. What would they be?
Okay, so for me, if you want to build a career, which is what I tell everybody around me that wants to build a career, your number one objective should not be money.
But People don't used to hear that one to these days, oh. Mr. Dimeji.
Yes, it's because of the generation we are. Because the
They
truth
are going
about
to
it
think
is,
that you are not being real, though.
no. Now, on the long run, money comes. Now, it got to a point in Pertinence that there was nothing I asked for that was not done.
Mm.
There was nothing. The directors don't want to see me paid, or they want to see that I have financial issue. I have a because now, because the truth is, if your drive is you want the money first, and you are saying you want to build a career, you would not know when you would you would derail because of the love of that money.
Mm. But people need money to meet their needs
Yes,
now. And so people are emphasizing the money thing these days because Igboro rẹ́rìn. I mean, street is not smiling, and they
yes.
need money.
Good. People need money to build and to do whatever they need to do. Yes,
Yeah.
but the truth about it is, you would get that money when you put in what you
The
can
value.
offer. It is. I was hearing one
True. True.
of his because I follow him a lot. I was hearing one of his training, and he was saying, if you cannot give a value, you cannot get money.
True.
But a lot of people, you just came out or you just have one BSc, you don't have experience, you
Graduated
don't have
out
anything.
of school. I want to become everything
Yes,
1 year.
one day it's not possible.
They play.
It's not possible. It's not possible. So go and get that experience. That's the value you want to give out. So value comes, and in exchange you get the money. So that's me.
Mm. Mm.
That's what I see.
So where
So that's my
is Mr. Dimeji going from here?
hey.
From here. Tell us. Or you don't
Okay.
want to hit us yet?
No, I will eat.
Are you still keeping it till later?
Yes. So where I'm going from here is consulting.
Woo!
Yeah, consulting. In fact, before the end of this month, I'll be bringing out a lot of things because my drive is I want to help businesses grow. And one
Mm.
of the ways I want to help them is to help them in their finances. I found out that
Mm.
a lot of companies have challenge in managing finances. They have a
Mm.
lot of challenge, as a lot of businesses have that challenge. Some
Mm.
of them have a lot of money that comes in, but ask them how the money went. They will not be able to account for it. So I
Mm.
want to help in that line. So I'm helping a lot of businesses this period, and that's the drive from now. So it is
Woo!
consulting, financial consulting and business consulting. Financial and business consulting.
It go work.
Amen.
It will work. It will work.
Amen.
Of course, if I'm supposed to also give you a parting shot, let me say from an
Yeah.
entrepreneur's point of view, it's going to be having to rise. Your experience will work for you, Mr. Dimeji. Your people management will work hugely for you. I can tell you that. Yes, because you are a bridge builder. It will work for you. And because people will want to be part of anything you say you are doing. I'm too sure about that. But the other part of it is you will have to grow as if you are just starting. You
Mm.
know, it's a different thing when you already
Yeah.
belong to. You have grown a place and the place is made. And you are trying to start another thing. But I'm sure that this is going to work with a greater speed because you are hands-on. You joined to build something from nothing. I mean, what else can any employer do for any interested employee than to give them that kind of platform?
Yes.
So we want to, on this note, salute Pertinence
Yeah.
Group for the
Yeah.
opportunity. We want to in particular salute Mr. Oladimeji Oke, the immediate past Chief Financial Officer of Pertinence Group. Thank you for everything. No grief for financial
Yes.
management.
So
Somebody say no grief. So, Miss Ayemi already say no gree for financial management. No wahala. We are all queuing up. to come and get services from you.
Yes.
I can tell you that you have offered so much value to us today with this chat. And I would like to let you go now so that you can go and go. I will let you, I have another song I dedicated to you.
Oh yeah.
This one say Ododula Rorogo. You will live long, you will fulfill. And I went on Yoruba, everything's all Yoruba today. You will always be there. God will always keep you. He will preserve everything that has to do with you. You are Madam Enora Igbo in Jesus' name. And for every good thing you have done for your employer, God will ensure that you have multiple people will serve you because you have served. I mean, nobody is 100%, but for everything that you have done so far, it's my prayer that God will bless you. It's New Year and ọdọọdún làárá òòṣà ojú òdejọ kọmọ òbí má gbé ìgbà. Sunny Ade all the way. Ọdọọdún làárá orógbó. This is my prayer for you. God will preserve you, preserve your journey, and give you all the best things of life. Of course, I don't want now.
Yes, now
We
are
go
together. We are together.
All right, I'd like to let you go now.
Thank you very much, man.
God
Thank you,
bless
everyone.
you. Thank you so much. Have the best of time. My regards to the family.
They would, yeah. Thank you.
Yeah. Ọdún òrèjọ́, àní ọdún òrèjọ́. This year, na so it go be. Everyday people telling their stories. Now, so it go be this year. Everyday people telling their story. We'll be looking at reputation. I mean, one of the things I can pick from Mr. Dimeji's experience is he literally came as a staff and became a leader. Groomed, strong, and I have no doubts that he would do well. You know, when I was leaving Punch, I was too confident that I could do what I wanted to do. Why? I have served. You know, don't get half-baked knowledge and jump out. It's very important to get rooted. But if you know that for the short time you have stayed, you have learned all you need, then go out, because there is a place for education, there's a place for exposure, there's a place for experience. Yes, that was Mr. Oladimeji Oke. If you don't have my book yet, see this book on imperatives of sustainable leadership reputation. You can get it on seller or reach out to me on 0817 057 9767. Next, this Friday, I have another guest. You know, I had to reschedule this to Tuesday. So this Friday, I have another guest from the media. This man, this gentleman has raised many, has mentored many young media people into core professionals. And he initiated this book that I was invited to co-author or contribute to, Our Punch Years. One of my greatest achievements in 2023 was being part of this book. I love the Punch brand so much, especially because the Punch made me in terms of being a professional. I will not lie about that. I got into Punch as an intern and got out of Punch able to build a business, able to run a business. So what is it about Mr. Lekon Otufodure? You will be hearing him and how he relates with people. Today, Mr. Dimeji shared how he was cracking the people code. He told us that he first does psychology of everybody that comes to his presence. And even though they are mad at him, they go back smiling. Come on. There are people you must relate with this year. They are not too nice, but your business is in their hand. There are difficult clients you must bring in this year. How do you learn to crack the people code? It's everyday people telling their achievement stories in the series that I've started today. I'm so excited for everyone that joined. I wish I could go on and mention your names one after the other, but if I cannot, just know that I really, really do appreciate you. So join me again this Friday, not next Friday. This one was scheduled to Tuesday because of glitches. So this Friday, I will have Mr. Lekon Otufodure. Actually, is my boss. Yes, he's a senior. He's not a veteran, because veteran has meaning in journalism. Okay, so we'll be meeting this Friday. Please join me at 5 p.m. May you live more years. May all your wishes come true. May your dreams come to pass, and may God honor you in every little way you want. Bye. I'm Olusola-Obasa. I host talk shows like Mind Your Character. I influence thoughts and mindset positively. I train in personal and corporate character development. I work with organizations to make their team members strong to drive their vision and mission. Reach me on 081061 20819 or 0817 0579 Catch ya! Bye! Àṣeṣe tún ṣe, àṣeṣe tún ṣe, bá a bá ṣọdún á ṣe mí sí àṣeṣe tún ṣe láyé ń bí, á ṣe mí sí. Ọdọọdún là ń rórógbó, ọdún ò lè jọ. Signing out.